Now I'm gonna discuss energy of capacitor. Energy is which? Electrostatic energy. Electrostatic energy of capacitor. Of course, capacitor is what? Capacitor is a storage charge device. Simultaneously, it is storing electrostatic energy in itself in the form of electric field. Now let me make you clear here. Suppose I have a metallic sphere. First of all, I talk about a metallic sphere. Okay. On this, finally the charge will be plus Q. Okay. Now at any moment, suppose it has charge Q on it, its radius is R, then at this moment its potential is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now if I bring a charge dq from infinity and place over it, then as per the definition of dV, potential dW upon V, definition of potential dW upon dq. So work done will be V dq. Work is done against this electric field, and that is calculated in scalar form V dq. So this work done will be V dq, and I am doing this work from 0 to capital Q. So total work done is equal to V dq from 0 to Q, and what is V? It is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R dq from 0 to capital Q. This work done will be stored in the form of potential energy of the capacitor. Look, this work done is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q dq from 0 to capital Q. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q dq. Integration is what? It will be Q square by 2, 0 to Q. I have 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by 2 minus 0. Q square by 4 pi epsilon naught. I separate 2. Why I separate? I explain here. 4 pi epsilon naught R also there. It is R also there. 2R. Epsilon naught R. Now, I modify this formula a little bit. This work done is stored in the form of potential energy U. So I can write U equals to Q square by 4 pi epsilon naught R into 2, and I hope you remember 4 pi epsilon naught R is what? C. So it becomes Q square by 2C. This is the formula. Further, it can also be written as Q is equal to CV, as Q is equal to CV. So U can be written as CV whole square by 2C. U is equal to C square V square by 2C. It is half of CV square. This is a general formula for each capacitor, for any capacitor, that energy stored in a capacitor is half of CV square. We can calculate the same energy formation for other capacitors also. For example, I take for parallel plate capacitor. So you will be clear about it that this formula is not only for this spherical capacitor, it is applicable to the other capacitors also. I give some charge plus Q. Here is electric field which is Q by A epsilon naught. I hope you remember. Right? Now if additional charge is given, right, then work done dW equals to F from infinity, its energy will be increased. I discuss in terms of potential. At this moment the distance is d and the potential V equals to A into d. V equals to Q d upon A epsilon naught. dW is equal to V dq. If I place additional charge, then I'll have to work additionally dW, which is V dq, dW Q d upon A epsilon naught dq. I integrate it and d upon A epsilon naught are constants. Q dq is integrable from 0 to capital Q. This work is stored in form of potential energy, and here I get U equals to d upon A epsilon naught Q square by 2. Again I have Q square by 2 epsilon naught A d. Look here, epsilon naught A upon d, it is again Q square by 2C, and again if I place in place of C, in place of Q I place CV, U equals to C square V square by 2C, 1C cancel, U equals to half of CV square. Got it? This is the energy stored, and this energy is stored in the form of electric field in this region. Got it? This is about the energy stored in the capacitor. Now we come to a very important topic, combination of two capacitors, joining of two capacitors. Not combination, it is joining of two capacitors. Joining of two capacitors. Suppose here I have one capacitor having charge Q1, potential C1, capacitance C1, potential V1. Here is another Q2, C2 and V2. Right? Now if we connect them, what will be the final charges and potentials? One thing is very clear, after connecting any two electrical appliances, if connected, then their potential becomes same. becomes same. This is a very clear concept. Two metals, two electrical appliances, if you connect them, then their capacitance becomes same. Their potential becomes same. Now, let final situation is look what it is. Here it has charge q1 dash, potential v1, potential is v, capacitance remains same, and its charge becomes q2 dash, capacitance c2 and potential same v. Now in both the cases, q initial is equal to q1 plus q2 and q final is equal to q1 dash plus q2 dash. Now charge neither coming from anywhere nor going anywhere, so charge will remain conserved. So q final is equal to q initial. Charge will remain same. Charge is not going to change. q1 dash plus q2 dash, q1 plus q2. Now q1 dash plus q2 dash, I can write c1v plus c2v. Look here, it is q1 dash c1v, q2 dash c2v, and q1 c1 v1 plus c2 v2. In this way I have v c1 plus c2, c1 v1 plus c2 v2, and v is equal to c1 v1 plus c2 v2 upon c1 plus c2. This is the common potential. c1 v1 plus c2 v2 upon c1 plus c2. This is the common potential in this situation. Now, in this process, if we talk about, this is about common potential, right? And final charges also we can calculate just by the final charges. We can calculate q1 dash c1v, q2 dash c2v. Another important thing that in this process is there is loss of energy or not, because when the charged capacitors are connected, then there is flow of charge. There is flow of charge, there is flow of current, and then heat is produced. Then definitely there must be loss of energy. Let's see, does it happen or not? Up to yet we know the formula of energy, half of CV square. So let's calculate in that way. U initial, half of C1 V1 square plus half of C2 V2 square. U final, half of C1 V square plus half of C2 V square. I'll do what Ui minus Uf. If it is positive, then there is loss of energy, means initial energy was greater than the final. If it is negative, then there is gain in energy, and if it is zero, then there is no loss of energy. So what I do here, first of all, I'll do it 1 by 2 C1 plus C2 V square. First of all, I'll simplify Uf. Fine. 1 by 2 C1 plus C2, and what was the common potential? V. V was C1 V1, C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2 and whole square. It's very clear that 1 by 2 C1 plus C2, C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square by C1 plus C2 whole square. From 1 to 1 is cancelled, and then it is 1 by 2 C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square by C1 plus C2. Now I subtract. This is a longer calculation, of course. Ui minus uf. Ui half of C1 V1 square half of C2 V2 square, and then minus of half of C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square by C1 plus C2. Among all, half is common, and then C1 plus C2 is taken as LCM. Here it is C1 V1 square C1 plus C2 plus C2 V2 square C1 plus C2, and lastly I have minus of C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square. I said it is a longer calculation, of course. If I calculate this longer calculation in the numerator space, I'll have, look, C1 square V1 square from this plus C1 C2 V1 square plus this is C1 C2 V2 square plus C2 square V2 square, and here I write C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square. Denominator is C1 plus C2 whole square. If I expand the right hand side, look at this, I have 1 by 2 C1 square V1 square C2 square V2 square C1 square V1 square C2 square V2 square C1 C2 V1 square C1 C2 V2 square plus C1 C2 V1 square plus V2 square, right? And the next step, I said it is a longer calculation. It is minus of C1 square V1 square minus of C2 square V2 square and plus 2 C1 C2 V1 V2 upon C1 plus C2. This got cancelled here. What I have now, 1 by 2. Look here, this is cancelled. C1 C2, here it is C1 C2. C1 C2 common. I have V1 square plus V2 square minus 2 V1 V2 upon C1 plus C2. This is A square plus B square minus 2AB. And this is 1 by 2 C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2 V1 minus V2 whole square. This is delta U, which is of course, because this is square is always positive, it is positive. It is U initial minus U final. So initial energy always greater than the final energy. That means there is a loss of energy if you are connecting two capacitors. I just give a simple example, a very simple example, by numerical example. I said this is a very longer calculation. You need to do it yourself. All these calculations you need to do yourself. Video watching is not itself complete itself. You need to work it out yourself. I just give one example. I have one capacitor and its capacitance is 2 microfarad. Its voltage is 4 volt. Definitely its charge is 8 microcoulomb, right? There is another capacitor C2 of 4 microfarad. Its voltage is say 6 volt, then charge is 24 microcoulomb, right? Now if I connect them, I told you the formula for common potential C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. So first of all, let's calculate the common potential. That will be C1 2 into 4 plus 4 into 6 upon 2 plus 4, 8 plus 24 upon 6, V equals to 32 by 6, it is 16 by 3. This is common potential, right? Now initial potential energy, V common, I said 16 by 3, okay? Now if I calculate the initial energy is half of C1 V1 square plus half of C2 V2 square. It is half of C1 2 microfarad 4 square plus half of 4 microfarad 6 square. This all energy will be in millijoules, of course. 16 plus 72, 88 microjoule. Final energy, half of C1 plus C2 V square. C1 plus C2 6, 1 by 2 into 6, common potential is 16 by 3, 16 by 3 whole square. 3, 16 256 by 9, it is 256 by 9, it is approximately 3816 5.33 joule microjoule. Certainly there is loss of energy. It could have been directly calculated 1 by 2 C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 V1 minus V2 whole square.